Excellent. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us on this lovely Saturday morning. It's cooler weather here for us in Vancouver the last couple of days, but it's still nice. It's not cold, so that's all that matters. Thank you to everyone for joining us this morning. It's a great privilege for me to have Jennifer Bond from CIE Tours with me this morning. Uh, in a minute, I'm going to hand it over to her, and she's going to give you all the exciting news regarding CIE Tours and what they can offer. Just one more thing before I start. If you have any questions, please put it in the Q&A. At the end of the presentation, I'll quickly go to Q&A and see if there's any questions, and then we will answer that for you. So I'm just going to start quickly and just talk a little bit about Expedia Cruises and who we are, especially our office in Maple Ridge and Pitt Meadows. We opened in 2010, so this year is our 15th anniversary. So I'm very proud of that. I made it 15 years. That's where all this gray hair came from, but I'm here. We can help anyone in North America book. So whether you're in Canada, even down south in the States, we can really assist everyone. Currently, we have a team of 20 consultants who's eager to help you plan that dream vacation. I'm not going to read every line here, but we are here to help you. Our consultants spend a lot of time training. We do this on a regular basis. So we're really here to help you, and we like to spend time with you. We really want to get to know you and learn all about you so that we can give you the best advice possible. We're also part of the Expedia group. Expedia Cruises is a Canadian company. We opened our head office is right here in Vancouver. But with the buying power we have from Expedia Group, we can offer a lot of extra things. One more important thing I just want to point is, and you see it with the presentation this morning, we do more than just cruises. So CIE Tours, we can book land product, we can book rail, we can book anything you would like. So with that, enough about ourselves. So with that, I'm going to hand it over to Jennifer, and she's going to take it away. Thank you, Jennifer.
Thank you so much. Appreciate that fine introduction. Love it. So let's talk a little bit about who we are and what we do here at CIE Tours. So again, my name is Jennifer Bond, and I take care of all of the sort of sales and marketing and whatnot. I used to be all of Canada. I used to be a one-man show, but now we've got another very small but yet mighty team out in Eastern Canada as well. So I've been with CIE Tours for quite a few years. I have been there since before the pandemic. However, I'm certainly not new to the industry. I've been working in travel industry with various suppliers, airlines, etc. for, hate to admit this part, but well over 30 years. So I started when I was very, very young. But yeah, so the experience and really what brought me to CIE Tours was their product, as well as really just the overall emphasis on guest satisfaction and on providing an incredible experience for clients in a few different ways, and I'm going to touch on those shortly. So who we are CIE Tours is actually, we are an Irish company. We are a niche tour operator. So we do offer Ireland as well as Britain. So England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland. And then we also do offer Iceland and Italy, which we added to our product range in 2018. And then we also do have one tour in Spain. So that's brand new for us. We just started offering it. But we will still always be that, that tiny niche tour operator. And because we are an Irish company, actually CIE, which is our parent company, is actually part of the Irish government. It takes care of all of the public transportation in Ireland. So we are their guided vacation touring division at CIE Tours. So Irish company, our headquarters are based in Dublin, of course. And we are really very well known within Ireland. Obviously, being owned by the Irish government, all of our equipment belongs to us. All of our wonderful drivers, our tour managers, they are all employees of CIE. So it really does make us stand out as some of the best guides in the industry. And then most importantly is a 95% guest satisfaction rating, which is really paramount to us. And we really brag about this quite often. And that's because obviously, we understand that as a consumer, your time is very important, and your money, what you're putting your money into, we want to make sure that you are having the most authentic experience, and the most, the most value for your dollar. We do offer our tours are 4.5 star or higher if you want to use like a compare it to like a hotel star rating. So their guest satisfaction rating being 95% or higher. It also allows for Expedia Cruises to be able to sell with confidence, knowing that they're selling you one of the top products within this space. So one of the things that does set us apart from the competition, because I know when you're looking at this and you're seeing guided vacations, you're thinking, oh, like this must be bus tours. Well, we prefer to call it motor coach, kind of the same thing as the cruise industry doesn't like having their ships being called boats, I suppose. But it is motor coach experiences. Now, that's one facet of our business. We do offer other styles of touring as well, and I will certainly jump into that. But on our scheduled tours, so these are the motor coach journeys, it's 44 passengers maximum. However, we do have some small group departures as well. About 15% or so of our departures are a small group. It's still on board the motor coach, the full-size motor coach, but it's a maximum of 26 passengers. So everything is included in the tour. So what we mean by that, all the transportation, of course, the motor coach, all of your hotels, which will be 4.5 star, any sightseeing, and this is immersive sightseeing. So it's not going to be pull into the parking lot and everybody look out the window and then that's done. That's it. When we can and where it is, expected, we are going to go in. So for example, if we're going to Blarney Castle, we are going up to kiss the Blarney Stone. Everybody's going to do that. We have preferential queues, all of those things, and it is fully an immersive sightseeing experience. Of course, in Ireland, we do offer traditional entertainment. So Celtic evenings, perhaps maybe even like whiskey tasting. We do go to apple cider orchard, like all of those things. And then most of the meals, and when I say most meals, it's simply because about 60% of the meals, so all of your breakfasts are included. Lunch would be included if we happen to be in a tour, for example, Blenheim Castle in southern England. We are doing a tour through the actual castle. And because it starts at around 11-ish in the morning, and Blenheim Castle, there's kind of not much around there. It's not you're going there for that experience. We also include an afternoon tea at the Orangery Cafe. So, but then most of our meals in the evening are included as well, but we also want to make sure that you are getting the experience of being able to venture out on your own. Some people they want to go down to the local pub and hang out and have a pub meal and maybe a couple of Guinness and just really, sort of immerse themselves into the local village or local culture. And other people, perhaps they read about a particular restaurant, or maybe they're, into Michelin star. That's fine. It gives people the option. Or even if you just want to have a little break, have a little restful evening, maybe room service and an early night is on the menu for you. So that's why we do leave sort of a few of those late day and into the evening free for you to decide. So there's no unexpected hidden charges. We don't sell any optional excursions. Everything is included in the cost of the tour. We don't do add-ons. We don't every morning hand out a little extras menu and have the tour director basically, selling to you. We will always be focused on the tour, keeping the history alive, doing the storytelling, and not selling to you. So this is what I was talking about when I said that we have a few different styles of touring. So not only are we a motor coach guided vacation touring company, but we also offer touring in our destinations in a few different ways. And that's what Travel Your Way is all about. So I've already covered off that motor coach portion. So guided vacations. So we can do that in what we call individual. So individual, you and your friend or you and your spouse or whatever, you make the booking and off you go on the motor coach. We also do groups as well. So maybe you're part of a reading group. We've got quite a few people who are doing Game of Thrones themed type of tours or Outlander, and we can certainly offer for 10 passengers or more. That's what constitutes a group. We can certainly offer some incentives to you if you are coming, to Expedia Cruises and saying, hey, listen, I've got, 10, 15 people and we want to go away together. We're part of a church group or something along those lines. So we can absolutely do that. And we can also do that curated to exactly what you're looking for. So we also do custom groups, as well as the groups that are within the brochure. We can also do customizations. We also do custom private driver, which is one of the kind of the special things about our company. So anywhere from 1 to 9 passengers, we can offer a custom private driver. So essentially what we do is it's still a guided tour, still a guided vacation. We're still going to obviously book all of the hotels, or perhaps you wanting to stay in a castle or a manor home or something along those lines. We have access to those things. And we would build a tour. So including the sightseeing, or maybe there was something in particular that you wanted to participate in or wanted to see. We get a lot of requests for private tastings in distilleries. We get a lot of requests for private tours of the Irish stud farm. So those are all things that we can also take care of for you under that custom private driver. Independent adventures, we do have our Traveler's Choice, which is self-drive. So we are still building a tour for you. However, you're going to do the driving. These are available in Ireland only. So I do want to point that out. That is something that we can only offer in Ireland. Or we can do a classic itinerary. So we have 8 preset itineraries that you can choose from, and then again you drive, but all of the hotel reservations are taken care of. Dinners are taken care of, obviously breakfast every day, and those set sightseeing as well too. We do have day tripper tours. So these are fairly new for us, but this is a hub and spoke concept. So I do get a lot of people who say, and certainly, I still love motor coach touring. I still love that traditional touring, but I do know that there might come a time where I'm like, you know what, I think I'd really just rather kind of stay put, but still get all of those benefits. So essentially, what this is. Day tripper tours, they stay in one city, and I'll give you a great example, which is the Scottish day tripper. We stay in Glasgow for the entire time, and then we do day trips out from there. So the Scottish borders, Isle of Skye, all of those things that we can, and obviously Scotland is small enough that we can really spread our wings and go out. The nice thing is too, and this is great if you're a cruise client who maybe wants to do the cruise and then wants to hop on over onto the land, but kind of still want to have that same feeling, right? Only one hotel room or stateroom, I guess, in that case, but unpack once, hang up your clothes, have a home base, place to, maybe hide or whatever, just, if you wanted to get your bearings. And also too, kind of not that, it's a little bit of more leisurely pace. And not sort of that, little bit of hustle and bustle that you can kind of get with escorted with the motor coach journeys. And then lastly, we have a new product in 2026, which I will highlight. It is our walking and hiking tours. I'm very, very excited about these. These are guided walking tours through Ireland. And I will touch on them a little bit more, but they are brand new. It's a brand new style of touring for us this year. So I wanted to show you a picture of the travel documents because I love them and I'm very proud of them. So these are very practical, very stylish, environmentally friendly, made from all recycled materials, water bottles and such. But this is our document pack. So not only will you receive an itinerary and all of the things that will detail your day-to-day on board the motor coach, but we also do offer our destination guides. It's a water bottle. Um, Refillable water bottle, obviously, luggage bag. The little orange box there is a plug converter for your destination country, luggage tags, and then that little blue clip-on pouch is an emergency rain poncho. Just in case if it happens to rain while you're there, you would have your little emergency rain poncho there for you as well. So these actually come directly to you once you make a booking with CIE Tours, and you've paid for it and you're sort of sitting, waiting anxiously for your departure date. About 2 weeks or so prior to your actual departure, you're going to receive this in our CIE Tours pack. And you can feel free to do an unboxing, as the influencers do, and post it at cietours.com. We would love to see it. So our guided tours, which I've already touched on, in 2026, we're going to have a total of 48 guided tours. These are the ones in our brochure. These are the motor coach journeys. And of course, all of the things that I discussed earlier are what are included. So obviously we do welcome drink and orientation where you meet your fellow guests, as well as the driver, the tour manager, etc. Of course, all of your entry fees are included. We do offer on a couple of tours some independent exploration, so vouchers for like hop on, hop off in Dublin. And those could be, quite well used on the last day, just to sort of quickly go and see the things maybe that you wanted to go back to that you saw on tour, but you wanted to have a look at. Of course, we do have Wi-Fi on our coaches, our travel backpack for your essentials, and then of course all local hotels, service charges, baggage handling, of course porterage is included. We do permit one suitcase, and those are brought directly to your room every day. So you just when you get to the destination for the night or for a couple of nights, you just simply grab your hotel keys and off you go to your room, and your bag is delivered to your room shortly. So let's talk about our destinations. Experiencing Ireland. So obviously we are an Irish company. This is what we do best. Actually, out of those 48 tours, 21 of them are in Ireland, or Ireland and then a combination of country. But clearly Ireland is our bread and butter, and we're very, very proud of the selection that we've got. So when you look at Ireland, you've got sort of the Dublin area, the ancient East, right? So where a lot of the history there and the cultural that is spread out. Dublin, the Wild Atlantic Way, which has really, really taken off in the last about 10 years. Lots of interesting development there. And when I say development, I don't mean, 10-story hotels or anything like that, but more markered walking paths and more access to sites, and to be able to sort of, have that immersion into that Wild Atlantic Way. It's not just, mind you, Cliffs of Moher is very nice, of course, iconic, but it gives you a little bit more of the entire Atlantic Way. And then, of course, Northern Ireland, which has got such a wonderful history. And then, of course, UNESCO heritage sites that, certainly Northern Ireland, part of the overall United Kingdom as well. So some of the sites you could expect to see are going to be Ross Castle, Skellig Michael, Kylemore Abbey, which obviously this picture is across the water, but we do visit in Inishmore. And then, of course, our beautiful Cliffs of Moher. I love this picture. It is, it is absolutely wonderful. You can see O'Brien's tower there, a little speck at the top of the rock there. It looks like a big boulder. Um, Cliffs of Moher are, again, like the caption says, about 9 miles long. We do obviously do spend quite a bit of time, and you can walk that path, and take part, and have a look, and sort of see, look out back towards Canada. We do offer a Guinness storehouse as well too. So right there at St. James Gate, in Dublin. I love this, talking about all things Guinness, and you can go in and have a look around. We do take you up to the top, where you can learn how to pour a proper Guinness and get a certificate saying that you have done so. Up in Belfast, we do offer Titanic, which is it's not a museum, as it doesn't house any artifacts. It's really just more of a all things Titanic, because of course the shipyard that Titanic was partially built at was obviously in Belfast. So it's really neat. Obviously, it's supposed to, the shape of it, it looks like the bow and stern of a ship. They've recreated a few of the staterooms, a few of obviously that it always makes me think of the movie Titanic, but they recreated the staircase and all of those things. So you could maybe just do your own very own Jack and Rose on the staircase if you would like. But yes, it's a wonderful sight. And then if you see it from the air, the entire construction of it is shaped like a star in honor of the White Star Line, which was obviously who owned the Titanic. Of course, Giant's Causeway, it would not be a trip to Northern Ireland without including this. Now, of course, there is a very scientific reason as to why Giant's Causeway is what it is. It is a UNESCO, one of the UNESCO World Heritage Sites in Ireland. I prefer the myth, the giant's myth about how it was created and all of those things. I won't let too many cats out of the bag on this one, but I think that the story behind it is quite nice. So let's head on over into Great Britain. So this is Scotland, England, and Wales. We have a new tour next year called the Scenic Britain, which is actually going to do all three of the countries in Great Britain. Some of the sights and sounds that you're going to be seeing there, Stratford upon Avon, which is, of course, absolutely picturesque and beautiful, rich with the history of Shakespeare and all of those things. Liverpool, which I feel like we are kind of, living once again, talking about Titanic, but they have a wonderful maritime museum there in Liverpool, and also too, of course, the birthplace of the Beatles. So we take in a little bit of all of it when we're there. Tower Bridge in London, with its colorful history of prosecution and jail and all of those things. And I'm sure you've probably heard this before, but Tower Bridge, everybody thinks that's London Bridge. Well, I shouldn't say everybody. Maybe some people have been like, oh, that's London Bridge. London Bridge is actually further down. This, which is of course more picturesque, and London Bridge is not all that exciting, to be honest with you. But Tower Bridge is the one, the iconic one, the one that you see in the pictures, of course. And then up north in York, this is the street called the Shambles, where all the buildings look all crooked and askew. And we take in all of those things. So Windsor Castle, of course, home to, obviously the Queen and the Duke of Edinburgh stayed there. She actually preferred it to Buckingham. Buckingham Palace is more of an administrative headquarters. Probably not the favorite of anybody in the royal family. I guess, it's right there plunked down in the middle of the city. Whereas Windsor Castle is, certainly, a nice treat. Windsor Castle is also where we will start our Scenic Britain tour. It is actually quite close to Heathrow, but it is so charming and so nice to be able to walk around and to be able to sort of take that in as well. Stonehenge, of course, would not be a journey to southern England if you're not taking in Stonehenge. Of course, another UNESCO World Heritage Site, obviously believed to be part of, like a calendar system. Of course, equinox and things like that are very big days there as the sun positions. We will be going, of course, to Bath on some of our tours where you get to see those authentic Roman baths. And this is, of course, another UNESCO World Heritage Site. We'll do Cardiff Castle in Wales. Tintern Abbey. Cardiff is a lovely city, absolutely wonderful, just full of charm and history. And I will not even try and say this word, but this is the longest word. I love hearing it when you have a person who knows how to pronounce it correctly, a Welsh person who pronounces it so lovely and perfectly, but it is the longest word in the world. So, and then the Caerphilly Castle, which I think is so beautiful. It has more castles. There's more castles in Wales than anywhere else in the world. So, and we do take in quite a few of those. So let's head over into Scotland. Of course, we will take a picture at St. Andrew's Bridge. If we are going up there, you've got to get the bridge picture and then the hotel and clubhouse of the old course. The Blair's Hall Distillery, which is one of our distillery stops. I really do. Now, you don't need to be a whiskey connoisseur. You don't need to even be a fan. You don't even need to drink necessarily. I just love the history that comes behind it. And I mean, of course, Scotland is very much feels strong ownership. I mean, of course, Ireland, you can get your lovely whiskey there as well too, but there's something quite special about being able to have that type of experience in Scotland. We do Edinburgh Castle, go right in, see all of the good stuff, and then the Old Man of Star, which is one of the highest altitude and outcroppings there in Scotland. If you were taking one of our tours in Scotland during the month of August, we do include tickets to the military tattoo. If you've never gone, and I have to say, this was not something that was ever on my bucket list or anything along those lines. I think I must have heard military and thought, oh, okay, well, maybe not my thing. Drop me off at something, pretty and historic and carry on. But of course, I was on tour and I said, oh, well, you know what? Off we go. I loved it. I thought it was amazing. Dancing and bagpipes and all sorts of, parades and things like that. It was amazing. It was absolutely phenomenal. And I won't ruin it for you, but when the show ends, stay in your seat for about another 30 seconds. You'll see why. So, of course, bagpipes and kilts, it's all about all of those things in Scotland. And just a little blurb there about where bagpipes were originated. And they're actually Egyptian and brought to Scotland by the Romans. And then, of course, our whiskey experience when in Scotland as well. We do Loch Ness, of course, and then get to be able to see the Urquhart Castle there in the distance. But you never know, you might be able to spot Nessie, and wouldn't that be a wonderful thing? So let's continue to a couple of our new destinations or newer destinations, Iceland. So obviously there's a growing industry for people wanting to travel to Iceland. We do have terrific lift of air service out of the Canadian market. It truly is a land of fire and ice. I've had the opportunity to spend a bit of time there. It is incredible. It's like nowhere else on earth, I must say. It is unbelievable. So just to kind of give you an idea, Iceland is about the size of Newfoundland. It's a smidge bit smaller. And it has glaciers, it has waterfalls, it has volcanoes, all sorts of sights and sounds to be able to see. This is really, truly a wonderful experience, especially if you love outdoors. You like to see something different, something out of the ordinary, something you've maybe never had the experience to see before. So, of course, we do not guarantee northern lights, but it is a possibility. Obviously, not in the summertime because they do experience white nights there, meaning that during the summertime, so really from the equinox, a little bit before the equinox on until like late August, the sun never actually truly ever sets. So it's kind of neat. You can go wandering about at 1 o'clock in the morning, and it's kind of, like early evening. It's really quite interesting. We take in all kinds of waterfalls. We will do the Blue Lagoon, obviously, there's a beautiful picture of it. We do stay there and be able to have that experience at the Blue Lagoon. We will also do some of the geothermal experiences, greenhouse, because of course in Iceland, it's not like they're out, planting crops or anything like that. It's just not possible, but they have basically harnessed the power of those, volcanoes and been able to build quite an infrastructure with those geothermal greenhouses. And we will be doing a farm to table experience at one of those greenhouses as well. We also do take in Husavik on one of our tours. So we have one tour that does do the full island of Iceland, so full circumnavigation, which takes us up to Husavik, which was the original settlement there in Iceland. It's only the only UNESCO World Heritage Site in Iceland, which of course we do, is the Thingvellir National Park as well. And then we head on over into Italy. So let's talk about La Bella Vita here in Italy. So we do a few tours. We have two new tours next year as well. Tour two. One is the Grand Tour starting in the lakes, the Italian lakes, and down to Amalfi Coast. We're also doing Italian lakes to Rome. We have a classic Sicily, which I've had the experience. It was incredible. And we have our Tuscan Treasures as well as our Taste of Italy. Tuscan Treasures is also a day tripper, so you actually stay just outside of Florence and then do day trips, including Cinque Terre from there. So, of course, the Tuscany region, we will be doing Isle of Capri. If you're on the tour, on one of our tours, the Taste or the Grand Tour, we will be taking in the Isle of Capri. Rio Maggiore, which is part of the Cinque Terre, so the five villages. And then, of course, Roman Forum when we are in Rome, amongst other things. I mean, the list for things to see in Italy is pretty much endless. Italy, obviously, is surprising for our sweet little Irish company. It's actually one of our best sellers. And it is, it certainly does hold the number one destination spot for most travelers coming out of Canada and North America overall. So we do spend some time in Florence on our Tuscan Treasures. We're staying about 40 kilometers outside of Florence, but of course we do have day trips here, so you can take in the Duomo, go see Statue of David. We do take in some vineyards. There's David right there. It's amazing. I mean, one block of marble. Michelangelo, really was. I mean, he was prolific, and his work is absolutely unbelievable. Of course, we've got the Sistine Chapel, which I love when I saw this little remark on this picture, because just think we just chose a new pope, or I mean the Catholic Church just chose a new pope, really within weeks. So I mean it's a little bit more poignant. Of course, it's Jubilee year, meaning that there's all sorts of things going on with the church, with really culturally within Italy. So very exciting. Now we've got Spain, which is the last of our destinations, the Land of Cervantes. Apologize if you are fluent in Spanish. I apologize. My accent is terrible. So, of course, we do Madrid, our tour. We have one tour only, the Best of Spain. The tour starts in Madrid, takes in Cordoba, Sevilla, Valencia, and then ends up in Barcelona. So great if you wanted to do a tour of Spain first and then maybe wanted to take part in a cruise departing out of Barcelona. We could probably make that happen for you. I do want to point out the Prado Museum. We do a visit here, and it's on the second day of our Best of Spain tour. I think it's wonderful. I always tell people I'm just a simple girl from the prairies. I don't have a lot of, appreciation for art, but I really did find it fascinating. Um, and, to be able to tour around and to be able to walk in the hallways and see some of this artwork. But the thing I like the best, and here's a little travel tip for you. If you're in Madrid and you're doing the Prado Museum, right across the street, actually kind of kitty corner to the Prado, is the Ritz, which is a beautiful hotel. We do not stay there. However, I strongly recommend that you at least go in and see the lobby. It is all glass and mirrors and gorgeous, beautiful, beautiful decor. Grab a drink in the lobby bar, make a little bit of a splurge, maybe, or just even have a coffee or something like that, and watch the world go by. You never know. It's very famous. You never know who you'll see in there. I have to say that I did not see anybody famous, but apparently I missed Jennifer Lopez by one day. So there you go. There's my claim to fame. Of course, we do the Mosque of Cordoba, which is, of course, now Roman Catholic Church. In Seville, we do the City of Arts and Sciences. I love this. They say it was modeled to be like the Sydney Opera House. Now, I don't know if it's just me. I can't unsee it, but it reminds me of the helmet that the Spanish conquistadors used to wear. So now I hope you can't unsee that either. Of course, in Barcelona, we will be taking in all things Gaudi. Sagrada Familia, which apparently is finished. They said 2025, 26. So apparently we're down to, the brass tacks. Now, I'm going to shift gears quickly here so that we can kind of finish off on a high note, which is our two new tours for 2026. So this is a new addition to our lineup, a new style of touring for us. And this is going to be our walking and hiking tours. We have two brand new in 2026. They are available to book now. And the first one is Cork to Kerry. The second one is the Northern Coast. So as you can see, we're going to start and end in Dublin. Now, of course, we have two mini coaches that will take those out. So it's 8 passengers for a total of 8 passengers per coach for a total of 16 on board for the entire tour. This is going to be adults only, so we won't, for obvious reasons, this is probably not all that conducive to kids traveling. Incidentally, if on our guided motor coach, our minimum age is 8, and of course on private driver, we have no minimum age. Here's where the activity level lies, and so we just want to be completely transparent. This is not extreme. We call it soft adventure. So the maximum amount of distance over the 9 days is going to be about 50 kilometers for either tour. The maximum amount of kilometers walked in a day, shortest day would be like maybe 3-ish. Longest day would be about 8 and change. There's not, so it's a moderate fitness level. Elevation gain in total would be about 1,200 to 1,500 meters. So we are not climbing cliffs. We're not doing anything along those lines, but the terrain will be rugged and we also will go, if it's raining, we're still going to go. So obviously we'll give you a suggestion list, but if you're already into walking and hiking, you know that you want to bring your favorite hiking boots. You know which, backpack that you want to bring. Meals are included, hotels are included on these. And for the days that we'll be out, we will be doing like a catered box lunch, picnic lunches. We'll be stopping in a village on a couple of the days to go to the local. And be able to enjoy that. So I'm very, very excited. I'm very, very looking forward to being able to take part in one of these. And maybe this is something that would appeal to you too. Quick touch on our custom private driver program. I know I explained this before, but this is something that you can curate. It is in our Mercedes fleet, which you can see there in the top right-hand corner. It is either a sedan, because yes, we will do one person, a sedan, a minivan, or the Mercedes Sprinter coach. And then you can set your own schedule. You can curate this to whatever you want it to be. If you want to do, if you want to stay in castles and have private falconry lessons, we can probably make this happen. Farm to table experiences, and some people are going for the experiences and they're like, hey, listen, just put me in the Marriott every night. I'm good. Or find this village inn or whatever. We're fine. Other people are like, no, this is my opportunity to stay in a manor home. This is my opportunity to stay in a historic site. And we can basically curate it to whatever you like. We actually do get quite a few requests for multi-gen on those private, multi-generational travel on those private journeys. But we also do get some very specific requests. Golfing holidays. So if you are an avid golfer, I have a group who's been going year over year out of the Toronto market. It's just a group of fellas, and they go golfing in the morning, and then they maybe go for a nice meal at night. I know they've done a few distilleries experiences like that, so we can certainly make those arrangements. And then lastly, our independent adventures, which, as I mentioned before, are self-drive. So we have our traveler's choice as well as our classic itineraries. So either curate something where you do the driving, but we take care of the rest of the tour, building the tour for you, or choose from one of our eight classic preset itineraries as well. Now, I would be amiss if I didn't mention our best sale of the year. So this is on all 2026 departures. You can save up to $1,200 per couple. And those can be booked straight with Lee and his team over at Expedia Cruises. They have all the details in hand, and this is going on, like I said, for the departures. We don't have any blackouts. This sale is going on until the end. Well, I'll let you in on a secret. It was supposed to be until the end of June. We've extended it through July. And there you go. That's it. Now, I want to tell you the one last thing. This is the reason why we travel. It's not necessarily for the historic sites. It's not necessarily, for the hotels and all of that and the experiences. It's for the people. I am so pleased to be able to represent a company that takes care of probably one of my favorite places in the entire world, and a few other pretty favorite destinations as well. But when it comes down to it, it is about the people. Thank you so much. If there's any questions, I'd be happy to answer them now.
Excellent. Thank you, Jennifer. I don't see any questions at the moment. So if you have any, you have a quick second to pop it in there. Just for everyone's knowledge, as soon as we're done, about an hour from now, the recording will be posted on our YouTube channel. So it's just Expedia Cruises #Maple Ridge. So if you go there on YouTube, you will find our channel there with all kinds of different videos. And like I say, Jennifer's will be there posted in about an hour. We will have it there. So with this, I don't see any questions here, Jennifer. Thank you so much for covering it for us in detail. There's really a lot of things that I just made notes of to add it to my bucket list. So
Awesome. Me too.
every week that list is growing when I have a presenter on here. So I don't know if I gonna have time enough to do all of that. But thank you for spending your Saturday morning with us. Thank you for everyone who attended this morning. Thank you very much. So with this, I'm going to say thank you to everyone for joining us. Hope you have a great weekend. And I'm just going to leave our contact information on the screen for a little bit. But with that, thank you very much for everyone, especially you, Jennifer. Have a great weekend.
Thank you, Lou. Take care and have a wonderful weekend. Bye-bye.
Excellent. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Bye-bye.